University of Aurangabad. He also had distinction of having PG DBM from Wellinkar, Mumbai, and PG DHRD from ICO LM Chennai. He has teaching experience of as good as 30 years long teaching experience. And to his credit, there are two books that he has written: Business Environment in 2008 and Business Finance in 2015. You are, sir, editor of journal Deccan Business Review and board member of 12 journals. You have administration's experience of about 1 year as a principal and 2.5 years as a vice principal. You are a member of management council, finance and account officer at university for 2 years, and also have distinction for holding the post of registrar of the university during the course of your tenure. In your guidance, sir, 18 students so far, till date, 18 students were awarded with PhD degree, 12 students with MPhil, and 11 students are pursuing research work of PhD under his guidance. Now, you have organized so far 12 conferences, 3 workshops on research methodology. You have attended 82 seminars and conferences at state, national, and international level. You have published papers, 36 at international level and 28 papers at national level. So far, you have delivered 207 as on today. 207 invited lectures of invited guests as resource persons and various refresh course orientation programs, conferences, and seminars. He has also published 6 articles in newspapers. We have completed international project on tourism in collaboration with Indian-Italian Chamber of Commerce and MCED, Government of Maharashtra. You are life member of different associations such as Aurangabad Management Association, Aurangabad District Football Association, and others. You have mass media experience and you have worked as transmission executive of All India Radio for about 11 years. If we see the list of awards that were conferred on him, Best Feature Production Award for Family Welfare at Akashvani Annual Award in Air 1998. You have also approved commentator of hockey, football, and cricket. Your name itself has some background of sports as our team of captain of Indian cricket team. Azaruddin name itself suggests that you are a sportive personality and you are represented in university football team 5 times and hockey team once. You also had been a captain of then Marathwada University football team, winning the West Zone Championship of first time in the year 1989-90 and captain of runners-up university team at all India level. You have also visited several countries, to name a few: European countries, Asian countries, US, African countries. All in all, so far you have visited 26 different countries from different continents and very wide range of experience you have in almost I say all fields. Many a times we have listened to you offline when you visited our institute. We were there here for as a resource person in the conferences, but now this is a chance for me to listen to you online. I welcome you, sir, and I request you to continue.
Thank you very much. If I am clearly audible, just raise your hand so that I can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon to one and all. At the outset, I congratulate Advocate B.D. Hamberde Mahavidyalaya, Ashti, District Bid, Maharashtra, India, for getting A grade in NAC. It's quite an achievement for a rural college getting NAC A grade. Congratulations to all the stakeholders of the Advocate B.D. Hamberde Mahavidyalaya. Secondly, I would like to congratulate them for organizing the FDP on role of teachers in national education policy. And it's a continuous learning effort which the college has undertaken. And I think this is the part that they are today organizing the faculty development program on role of teacher in national education policy. Friends, today I will speak on the topic teacher and skill development in students. I will not go into the details of the NEP 2020, but we will keep NEP 2020 in our mind, and then we will proceed with the nuances which are included in that education policy. National Education Policy 2020. It is envisioned for new era. New era means coming time, contributing to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society. Now, these are the things which are continuously being hammered by the resource person. Equitable and vibrant knowledge society. There may be a question mark. How? By providing high quality education to all. In between the deliberation, I would rather call it a knowledge sharing session. I would also discuss some of the case studies so that we understand the concept very well. After 1968 and 1986 education policy, NEP 2020 aims to reform teachers' quality as well as students' quality. Now, this is a twofold effect which NEP 2020 intends to
मला सांगा जो
do.
राज्यपाल झालेला माणूस आहे दिलीप तो स्कॉलरशिप जर पोराला
Please see that your mics are closed so that everybody can hear what I am sharing with you. Knowledge sharing session is there. Thank you. So I was talking about that NEP 2020 aims to reforms teachers' quality as well as students' quality. And that is why you will find that they have made a structural change in the education pattern. New education policy will replace the 10+2+3 curriculum structure. And n number of times you have heard that it will be replaced by 5+3+3+4. That is new proposed 12-year school education. Of course, it is done with lot of research, lot of discussion, lot of cross-cultural, cross-society, and across the faculties. There were brainstorming, and after that, the pattern was finalized. That is 5+3+3+4. And this includes 3 years of preschooling. That is, to be precise, in some areas, Anganwadi. Of course, as the earlier speaker was saying, that the year 12, up to year 12, the grasping power is very dynamic. And in this 3 to 6 years of age is globally recognized as the crucial age for mental development of the student. And if we do this at the very tender age and we start from the early age, we can very well inculcate what we want in the long term. That is why you will find that this new education policy, which has been drafted in a flow, and it has been defined at different levels, their students and teachers as stakeholders, they are very much at the center stage. And of course, they should be. I will not go into the other part. I will stick to my topic of teachers and skill development and keeping the center stage students in mind. NEP 2020 emphasizes on reforms in teachers recruitment. Earlier, I was also seeing one of the caption as a question which appeared on the screen. What about the job security, how it will be, this and that. I would discuss some of that when we move further. Reforms in teachers recruitment. The reason is to re-establish new system to make teachers most respected and essential member of the society. Now, this does not mean that they are not. They are the most respected and essential members. But then we have to reaffirm, re-establish that the teachers will be the most respectable member of the society. The reason for giving this statement is you and me, we all who belong to the teaching fraternity, we know where we are lacking. And if you do the SWOT analysis, see what is the strength, see what is the weakness, where are the opportunities. And of course, there are threats also. It's not like that the threats are not there. Threats are there. Because I always say that, remember, to every advantage, there is a disadvantage. So when some advantages are coming, of course, disadvantages are bound to come. But that is acceptable because advantages are more and disadvantages are less in number, negligible, which will not have a long-term impact on the happenings. That is why the reforms in teachers' recruitment in order to re-establish the new system. This is being emphasized, and I also think that this is necessary because we as teachers, we know what we are doing. Now, this policy seeks to identify, recognize, and develop the unique capabilities of every student. Identify, recognize, and develop. Now, this is something which is, you can say that it has to start somewhere. You must have heard about counselors which are going to be appointed in the schools. And the role of that counselor will be to see that where the interest of the student is, how the student can move further in his or her education, which are the interest areas of the students. And that counselor will guide the students, guide the parents, and then the student will be able to pinpoint the area where he or she will be able to make a career in future. And when I say that, you have to identify, you have to recognize, it has to start from the lower classes only. Of course, not very lower like kindergarten and preparatory, where students are very raw, but they tend to change very drastically and they grow very fast. But then when they come to the standard 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, these are the strength areas where the students' interest can be judged by inquiry, by assessment, by counseling, by their activities, by their movements. And these all will be done with the help of the counselors. Somebody was saying, the earlier speaker said that there will be jobs in 2030 and 40. Of course, jobs will go, but jobs will come back, and they are coming back. And the configuration of the job will change. Like I said, counselors will be there. So when counselors will be there, they will be there on the large scale. Of course, they will be required in every school, whether it is a government school or a private school. They may be required in numbers also, because one person will not be able to cater to if there are 1,000 students in one school. So automatically the number will increase. So this transformation in the jobs will be there, and the specialization will also change. Now this has to be envisioned. This has to be understood by the stakeholders, those who want to be in education. They should judge as a teacher, if you are making a career, where you will be able to fit, whether you will be able to teach geography very competently, or whether you will be able to teach physics, which is one of the most dry subjects, but can you make it interesting? Do you have that mathematical skills? Do you have that way of thinking, how you can guide the students in economics? How you will motivate them for entrepreneurial venture when you are in school? Now this is something which is to be done by the stakeholders, that is the institution, teachers, and the bureaucracy which will be overseeing all these things. They have to identify, they have to recognize, they have to develop the students with their commensurating with their interest areas. And that interest areas will be known only once you go to them and you study them and you come to know that these are the strength areas where the students can be motivated. I would like to give you one example. In 2013, I was in Athens University, Greece. And when I was attending that international conference on entrepreneurship, a lady was sitting in the auditorium next to me. And that lady was aged 80 years. And I was very much surprised what an 80-year lady is doing in the international conference, which is for entrepreneurship, and for what purpose she is in this conference, what she will take from here, what she will contribute to this conference. Since I was having a paper, I could not tell anything to her in the tea break after the inauguration. But in the first session, I had my presentation and she was again besides me only. So after the presentation, when I came back, she congratulated me and then we started talking to each other. And in lunch, my curiosity increased. ये 80 साल की लेडी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में क्या कर रही है? And then I asked her, Madam, I am attached to the university and I am, at that time I was associate professor and my major is this and my specialization is this. Ma'am, how are you associated with teaching? She said, I am associated with a school in US. Then again my curiosity increased. और थोड़ा सा मुझे curiosity हुई कि भाई 80 years की lady school में क्या कर रही है? Then I asked her, Madam, and what is your work profile, your daily routine, your schedule, what you are following and what you are doing? She said, I teach innovation to the students. This is the thing which is going on throughout the world. Do you think of teaching innovation in school? Leave the school, in colleges also. You might hear one of the lecture on entrepreneurship or innovation, but you may not listen to, or you may not come across a person who will be disseminating knowledge about innovation. And this is the reason, my dear friends, Bill Gates ran away from the school. वो स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट है, स्कूल से भाग गया था, because he found that whatever the teaching is going on in the school is not matching his intellectual ideas, and he was very much disturbed that whatever he has in mind, he is not able to translate, and he will not be able to satisfy with this type of knowledge which is being shared in the school. He ran away. And see what he did after leaving the school. It is history, and Microsoft came into existence. And Bill Gates gave his colleagues who became engineers from the prestigious university, he gave them job, offered them job by giving more money. This is the power of entrepreneurship, and this is the power of innovation. This is the power of innovative thinking. This is the power of implementing a new idea. हमारे पास तो आइडिया ही नहीं आते. आइडिया कहां से आएंगे? करिकुलम ही हम पढ़ के जाते नहीं, और जाते भी हैं तो क्या बोलते क्लास में टीचर्स अपने को मुझे पता है, मैं भी उस वही फैटर्निटी को बिलोंग करता हूं. We know what they are doing in the class, what type of knowledge we are imparting. We all, including myself, what we are imparting. We know everything. So here the aim is to achieve the basic foundation, or you can say the basic foundation level in literature and numericals by 3rd grade, so that if the seeds of learning and numerical attitude is inculcated in the students at the tender age, then their computational skills will automatically increase in future, and they may come out as mathematicians, they may come out as scientists, they may take the path of becoming a mathematician, statistician, become a scientist, become a very Nobel prize winner by discovering something in the science where the world is moving very fast in research and development. That is why flexible learning is emphasized in this new education policy. And there is no distinguishing between the departments. I will come back to this point later on. I will not discuss this detail in this now. After half an hour, I will come back to this point. Flexible learning and no distinction between the departments. And above that, the multidisciplinary education system with equal importance to the curriculum activities will be given. I know that you must be loaded with questions now when sir is talking about multidisciplinary education system. Friends, we are in the process of adopting the NAP, implementing the NAP, and because for that purpose, how to integrate, how to bring art, science, commerce together, how to integrate, how to create a mix, that is going on, and adoption of such thing in future will be beneficial to the students at school level and at the college level and university level. And this is done to emphasize on the practical understanding and creative critical thinking and analysis among the students. This is what is emphasized. at the tender age that they should start. The conceptual upgradation of the students is expected. अगर बचपन में ही स्टूडेंट्स के कंसेप्ट्स क्लियर हो गए तो वो स्टूडेंट्स हमको क्या करना है, हमको कौन सी लाइन पकड़नी है और हमको किस राह पे जाना है, वो भी सोचना शुरू करेंगे. ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल कम if the conceptual upgradation is there. And this conceptual upgradation will start from the lower classes itself. Because when we do this, one more thing the National Education Policy 2020 wants, developing the ethics and human values through constitutional preaching. Not only the formal education, but the education of law, constitution, and administration. How this is being done, this human values with ethics will be inculcated in this new education policy implementation. And this is the reason that policy is classified into 4 parts. That the new education policy is classified. School education, higher education, and the third is professional education. And the fourth is the mix of all these 3, school, higher and professional education, to strengthening and financing various education boards to implement, or various education institutions to implement. And this will be implemented at different levels. Empowerment of these education boards and institutions will be done. ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ स्टूडेंट से एक्सपेक्ट करना है, ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ टीचर से एक्सपेक्ट करना है, ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ जो इंस्टीट्यूशन इंपार्ट करेंगे उनसे एक्सपेक्ट करना है, बल्कि जो सपोर्ट मशीनरी रहेगी, दिस सपोर्ट मशीनरी will also be empowered, strengthened and financed. Again, there is a scope for all the teachers. You can also be a part of this. And there is the structure which is coming up for the implementation. See, when we talk about implementation machinery, you make the rules and regulations, the framework of rules and regulations. And that framework of rules and regulations, if you make, then automatically what happens? You know how to move in a direction. You know how to implement. You know what step will come after this. And that is why the change in New Education Policy 2020 is for students empowerment with global knowledge. Why global knowledge? When we talk about the students empowerment, we are not talking about the local, regional, national level, but we are talking about international level also. International readiness of the students is envisioned in this NEP 2020. Differentiation and rigidity between science, arts, commerce, that is removed. Differentiation is removed. Rigidity बहुत ही ज्यादा कड़क, ये आर्ट्स में आता है, ये साइंस में आता है, ये कॉमर्स में आता है, ये मैनेजमेंट में आता है, ये जो रिजिडिटी है, stiffness, that is being removed in this implementation of NEP 2020. And you will find that the schemes for internship and vocational education is introduced from 6th class onwards. Because some students may have a mechanical way of thinking. They may not be comfortable with the literature. They may not be comfortable with some other languages. So for that purpose, what they have done is internship for vocational education. Already you find certain, you can see schemes are there. Homi Baba and NTSC schemes are already there for the students to take up the research and undertake research, go in that direction. They are being motivated, they are being selected, they are being groomed. But then when we talk about the policy, it is for all. So empowerment to the students to gain clarity and experience regarding the work environment so that they help or it helps to improve the social skills as well as the practical knowledge. I can give you an example. A student who is having a schedule from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and a student is coming back at 5 p.m. after all his or her schooling and you can say tuitions and extra classes, everything. And a student who is having a schedule from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and in between 1 or 2 hours, he or she goes to the ground to play. Friends, you will find a lot of difference between the two students who is having a schedule from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. but it is a routine one where the student is not going to the ground to play something. And a student who is having a schedule from 7 to 5 and 1 or 2 hours the boy or the girl is spending in, you can say, the ground or the gymnasium hall or indoor stadium, wherever he or she is getting a training for sports, the mental development of both the students will be different. Now, this is something which is associated with social skills and practical knowledge. I always say that the students should be accustomed with the ground. उनको ग्राउंड की आदत होनी चाहिए, मिट्टी में खेलने की आदत होनी चाहिए. इम्यूनिटी तो अच्छी होंगी उनकी, लेकिन उनको जीत को सेलिब्रेट करना आएगा और हार को पचाने की शक्ति आएगी. And this social skill, when it is there in the student, automatically the competitiveness comes. A sense of competitiveness automatically comes. And that is why, although 10th and 12th exam will continue in this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 pattern, the 10th and 12th exam will continue. The model of exam is changed. Now, this is again a very substantial change in the, you can say, approach through NEP. See, already in some states in India, what has happened is the respective states government, they have changed the methodology. And you see, UGC has also emphasized on continuous education. Now, this continuous education or continuous evaluation, continuous learning through CBCS, CBCG pattern. Now, this examination system, the model of examination is changed because the exam will focus on the syllabus and it will evaluate the core subject knowledge of the student. And that is why National Education Policy 2020 brought back the 4-year undergraduate program system. This is a very, very important aspect. And there will be some challenge, like earlier speaker I was speaking, I was listening very carefully towards the end. He mentioned about the challenges. And again he was mentioning about it's a challenge, it's a challenge. Friends, it is a challenge, but in that challenge, reforms are also included. Like the reform to increase the target of 50% of general enrollment ratio, GER, by 2035. Then common college entrance test in all forms of graduation program. You will find the college fees will be fixed by the government, and there will not be any deviation in this fixation of fees. It will be through a structure so that everybody, every stakeholder can get the benefit of those colleges and higher education. Separate committee to regulate and ensure that no college will charge above the cap. That has been envisioned, and that is going to be implemented. Already I can give you an example of Maharashtra. The colleges have been graded so that the fees they charge for a particular course will be different. One college will charge 10,000 rupees for a X course. The same course will be charged 6,000 by the Y college and 4,000 with the Z college. This is something which is already in practice. Of course, as for Maharashtra, I can tell you, other states also must be implementing, or they must be in the process of implementing. Coming to a teacher, in new education policy, the importance has been given to the teacher. How the importance have been given to the teacher? Teacher career and professionalism is emphasized. And for that purpose, National Professional Standards for Teachers, NPST, has been established to determine all aspects of teacher career management. Here what will happen? The safety, security of the teachers will be undertaken. I can give you a hint. Many teachers must be very curious to know what will happen in future. Friends, when NEP is changing many things, it is expecting many things from the teachers also. Like professional development and the salary hike, it will be dependent on the periodic evaluation. The appointment will be for a tenure of 10 years. It is in the pipeline. The think tank is discussing this. And the first appointment will be 10 years with all the facilities which presently the teachers are getting. All the facilities they will get. Full scale they will get. No doubt. But they will be evaluated in this 10 years. And towards the end, they will be evaluated on a benchmark of maybe 1 to 10 or 1 to 12 or 1 to 20. And the evaluation will decide whether you are eligible for further 10 years renewal of the contract or not. Now you may catch a word, sir, contract. Contract means if you are not performing, you will not be liable for renewal of the contract. Like it happens today and like many years in foreign countries. All European countries, US and Canada, they give you an appointment and subject to the renewal after a tenure of 10 years. To determine all aspects of teacher career management, the National Professional Standards for Teachers, this will be implemented. And from time to time, the higher education ministry will give directives. Teacher audits will be undertaken. The professional appraisal are will be an essential part of NEP 2020, professional appraisal. We fear appraisal. Why we fear appraisal? Because we know what we are doing. Including myself, we know what we are doing, how much we are teaching, how much we are catering to the stakeholders in teaching, learning and evaluation, what we are doing, we know. And that will be taken care on paper now. And it will not be a single evaluation, but it will be a continuous evaluation. And continuous evaluation will have a, you can say, a time-bound evaluation throughout that tenure of appointment, which will define whether you are eligible for the next renewal of the contract or not. Promotion will be purely on merit basis. Remember this, the think tank at the UGC and the governmental level is discussing these things. It is in the pipeline, and slowly it is going to come. Already there are signs that this will be implemented by the end of 2024. And many things in discussion have come up. It's in the planning process. So my dear friends, as teachers, we have to do the introspection. आत्म परीक्षण करने की जरूरत है. हम कहाँ हैं, हम क्या कर रहे, हम क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे और हमको क्या मिलने वाला है, क्योंकि हमारी कैपेसिटी क्या है और हमारा आउटपुट क्या है, उसके ऊपर अपना फ्यूचर करियर मैनेजमेंट डिपेंड करेगा with the implementation of NEP 2020. Reforms in teachers' approach. My friend was talking about 20, 30, 40 employment. But I would like to tell you, by 2030, the minimum educational qualification for teachers would be 4 years integrated B.Ed. Like CT, ET and or TET, they will be eligible for teacher recruitment in government schools. And it may be implemented in the private schools also. We don't know, it will, because it is still in the pipeline. In Maharashtra, they have implemented for the government schools that if you are TET, then you will be given direct appointment. And this is something which is a very crucial point as far as the teachers to undertake what is going to come. Proactive role excuse me, in promoting multilingualism and power of language in teaching and learning. Earlier somebody was talking about that there will be some issues related to teaching in mother tongue. We will discuss it after some time. Here for teachers, the focus will be on formative assessment. And if you look at the formative assessment, in this formative assessment, what you have to do is to monitor the students' learning. You have to monitor them, to provide the ongoing feedback. What NAC is saying to you is this part only. Monitor the students, give the feedback from the students. And this will be used by the teachers, instructors to improve their own teaching. We all have to improve on the basis of the feedback. And this will be given by the students to improve their learning, what they want. उनको क्या चाहिए वो बोलेंगे, और उनको क्या नहीं मिल रहा वो भी बोलेंगे. ये one way नहीं रहेगा. It will be a two-way communication. They will also understand, and they will also demand, we want this. Now that red book culture will not be feasible. वो नहीं चलेगा, हमको उससे ज्यादा डाइवर्स होना पड़ेगा. पिछले हमारे स्पीकर्स बता रहे थे कि टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करना पड़ेगा. ऑफ कोर्स जो स्टूडेंट्स को ज्यादा केटर कर सकता है, उनको नॉलेज दे सकता है. You can find an example of Bangalore, where in one of the school there is a teacher in the class and a robo teacher in the class. The conceptual clarity is given by the teacher, and the detailed information is provided by the robo. The queries are answered by the robo. This is something which is already there. Virtual classroom, smart classes will be able to connect to the internet, and that can be the future. So are we ready? So in the formative assessment, this will help the student to identify their own strengths and weaknesses. They will be able to identify the target areas where the students will need to work. And this is to enrich the teacher's ability to boost every student's engagement. Teacher will automatically be involved in that. Now, communication will be more rapid and faster and for more time with the students. And the teacher will be equally vibrant as the students are. Summative assessment will take a backseat. This formative assessment is a continuous assessment. Teaching, learning, evaluation. Continuous teaching, learning, evaluation in CBCGS pattern. Choice-based grading system. This is the thing which is going to come. And that's had to be implemented in the formative assessment pattern. The traditional summative assessment, where you evaluate the students' learning at the end of the instructional unit or at the end of the semester or the year, by comparing it with the benchmark standard, 40% you are passing, 45 is the pass class, 55 B plus, 60% first class, 75 and above distinction, blah, blah, blah. This is the standards and the benchmark which is in the summative assessment. Now this has to be changed continuously for the formative assessment by the teachers, where the students will know the teacher and the teacher will know the students. From all angles, they will be attached, collaborative, and together will take proactive part in the teaching, learning, and evaluation. National Education Policy 2020 also emphasizes on the skill development. Now, to give you an example, skills have become the global currency of 21st century. It is a global currency. Already, you can see that the IITians, the students from prestigious chemical technology departments, prestigious institutions in India, not only IIT, IIMs and other prestigious institutions in India. Those students who have the inquisite, a sense of inquiry, sense of learning, sense of, you can say, probing, sense of research, sense of doing something, sense of forming something, they are getting absorbed in foreign countries. Of course, it is an advantage to India. Brain drain it is happening, but then the remittances in the form of the dollars, the reals and dinars are coming from Gulf, and euro is from European countries. It is coming to India. So that is an advantage to the Indian treasury. But then we cannot afford to give brain a chance to go from India. That can be a very disadvantageous position in future. Because please close your mic. Please close your mic. Please close your mic. Please close your mics. Thank you. Thank you. Without proper investment in skills, just now I said, skill have become the global currency of 21st century. And without proper skills or proper investment in skills, people will languish in at the margins of the society. They will not be able to make a place in the society. You see a person working in some factory or in some organization. If one person, two persons are appointed for the same job, and one person has more skills, he is doing office work, is doing X work, Y work, Z work, and the one person who is appointed for the same job is doing only for what he is appointed, he will not be given new task, new, you can say, uh, responsibilities, but only what is expected from him for that particular job will be undertaken, and the other will be given the new responsibilities, new activities, new authority, even sometimes promotion will be given to that person because he has some extra skills than that particular person. Here, technological progress does not translate into economic growth every time. अगर टेक्नोलॉजी में हमने प्रोग्रेस किया इसका मतलब इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होगी, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. There is no correlation. That can be a support. That can be a support. So here, technological, you can say, progress will have a long-term effect on the economy of India. Long-term effect on the economic growth of India, but not that it is correlated with, if technological process is there, growth will be there. No. Skill as currency depreciates. अगर skill use नहीं हुआ तो वो कम हो जाता है. As labor requirement of the market evolve around the individuals who lose the skill if they do not use it. अगर किसी के पास स्किल है और उसने यूज नहीं किया तो वो he will lose that. And when you lose that skill, it becomes very difficult to get reskilled. In the post, you can say, pandemic era, skilling, reskilling is being done in every organization. To name a few, TCS, Infosys, the Indian companies, they are spending 1.5 hours, their employees are spending 1.5 hours to 2 hours per day for acquiring new skills, skilling and reskilling. It is not so that if you acquire skill, you will be placed. No. In some cases, what is happening? You have to unlearn. जो आपको याद है उसको साइड में रखना पड़ रहा है. and you have to adopt something different. Unlearn those things. They will not be useful. And that is why you will find that skills do not automatically convert into jobs and growth. Automatically it will not. And the pandemic and recent developments have proved that. It is essential that the skills of manpower must be developed parallelly. तो स्किल एजुकेशन के साथ पैरेलली डेवलप होना चाहिए. And if it develops parallelly, then only that human resource will be useful in our country. And more people will automatically be employed. NASSCOM report of 2019-20, and they say that 25% of the engineers, those who are coming out of the engineering colleges, are employable. See the dilemma. Only 25% are employable. This means that 75% of engineers are having degree, but they are not capable of gainful employment in the market. Now, this is something which we need to think over it, because this is the recent phenomena which is there. And that, keeping in such type of things in mind, such type of trends in mind, National Education Policy 2020 is emphasizing on the skill development. So when students from their schools and junior college, when they have an inclination towards the skill, so when they come to the professional colleges, automatically they will be skilled, fully skilled. A surgeon cannot say that I will not operate. There is no correlation between that. He has to operate because he is a surgeon. So the skill which he has acquired needs to be implemented. It is the requirement of that particular job, profile of that particular job. So the government has initiated the reforms. अब गवर्नमेंट ने रिफॉर्म्स को इनिशिएट किया. Like what? Ease of doing business. Now, ease of doing business will result in initiatives of the sectors which are growing with the fast pace, especially the service sector. बहुत fast pace से grow कर रहा है. And whenever it grows or expand, you require skilled manpower for that growth or expansion. And for that purpose, you will find the industrial development and human resource development should go hand in hand. एक एग्जांपल देता हूं कि एक हीरो होंडा का शोरूम है और हीरो होंडा का एक नया मॉडल मार्केट में आया है मोटरसाइकिल का. तो जब वो नया मॉडल मार्केट में आता है, व्हाट द कंपनी डज, यू नो, इट कॉल्स one person from the showroom to the factory and they train them. What is there in that particular motorcycle which is different from the other types of motorcycles of that particular company? They give the training to that person. He goes back and he trains the other people कि ये motorcycle में other motorcycle से ये अलग है. And the gap between the skill is filled.
But here, moderation
Here, the skill which is an ability to perform a productive task at a certain level of competence is to be acquired. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be a skill shortage. There will not be enough people with the skills needed to do the jobs. Some areas of the industry and some areas in information technology and specialized area research and development, they say manpower is not available. The reason is demand is exceeding the supply. The demand is more, the supply is less, because there is a skill shortage. And skill shortage points towards the skill gap. And skill gap is the deficiency, kamtarta, employee deficiency. It occurs when an employer believes that an employee is not having the skill to perform the job efficiently. That is treated as a skill gap. You will find the skill gap can be determined like internal skill shortage and external skill shortage. Internal skill shortage can be fixed by the employers, like wages, non-wage benefit, work culture, training, or you can say innovative activities. This can meet the internal skill shortage and they can cover up. Employers can do that. But external skill shortage, it is beyond the control of the employers. The cost of living index, local employment, innovation in that area, new research in that area. And you will also find that there are inadequate institutions where such type of specialized training is available. So that leads to the skill shortages. And this again, you will find that the drivers of the skill shortage, if you look at them, you are training the people, but that training which you have imparted is not adequate to the market. Most of the time what is happening when you are training, it is a wastage also. They are trained but not working. वो training ले लेते हैं लेकिन काम नहीं करते. So the mindset has to be changed. I always give an example of China. Today China is said to be the workshop of the world. And our Prime Minister has said the same thing, that he wants to make India the workshop of the world. Workshop of the world अगर हिंदुस्तान को बनाना है तो उसके लिए पूरा हमको mindset change करना पड़ेगा. I always give an example. We went to Macau, Hong Kong and China. My dear friends, those who are teachers, listen carefully what I am saying. We went to Hong Kong, Macau and China. And when we reached the largest city, one of the largest city which is having more than 1 crore 20 lakh population, Shenzhen city, which is near Hong Kong only, we crossed the border and we went to Shenzhen city. In the morning, we had a round over the city, seeing different places, historical places. And in the afternoon, we were told to stay here at the park. At 4 o'clock, they said this is the largest park in Asia. All amenities are there in this park. Just go there and you can take a look at this park and you come back at 6 o'clock at the gate. Buses will again come and we will take you to the hotel. So we went through the park, we came back at 6 o'clock. When we came back at 6 o'clock, the buses were at the gate. Everybody sat inside. Many people from Maharashtra, they and some of the North Indian friends were also there. We were there in that group. We sat in the buses and the buses started going towards the hotel. My dear friends, from all sides, people were coming. All sides. चूटियों के जैसे लोग निकल रहे थे. अंडरग्राउंड वॉकवेज में से, ट्रैम में, इसमें, बसेस में, हर जगह लोग, चूंटी के जैसे लोग. My God, where were they in the morning? Where were they in the afternoon? When we reached the hotel, we tried to inquire from the counter, but they were not able to explain. They said, 7 o'clock, our manager will come, you talk to them. Two of our teachers and myself, we went to that manager and asked, sir, we want to talk to you about something. We saw in the morning in the Shenzhen city, it is like Mumbai only, the population. And in the morning, we could not find people. In the afternoon, we could not find people. But suddenly in the evening, we could find thousands of people, lakhs of people roaming on the streets and coming from all sides. What is this phenomena? We said, gentlemen, from where you have come? We said, we have come from India. Which way you have come? And which flight you have come? We said, we came with Cathay Pacific. It's an official airlines of Hong Kong. We said, you were given earphones in Cathay Pacific. I said, yes, we were given earphones, but they were use and throw. You know where it is made? Where it is made? कहाँ बने होंगे? हमने सोचा. I told, it may be in the small scale industry or maybe some medium scale industry. He said, no, it is not made in some industry. It is made at home. And it is made by the grandfather and grandmother who are sitting at home, taking care of the children, while other people from the house, they are gone for work. जब बड़े घर के काम को गए, दादा दादी नाना नानी जो घर में बैठे बच्चों को संभाल रहे, उन्होंने ये ईयरफोन बनाया है. Then again curiosity increased. कैसे बनाया होगा? We asked him. A supplier comes to them and he gives them in 3-4 carry bags. The pouch, the sound system, the wire and the cover, everything is given to them. And when the children are playing, when the children are sleeping, they look at them and they try to assemble it when they are sitting peacefully in the house and they are free in the house. And after the assembly is over, the person collects it and gives the money there and there only, which is the pocket money for those retired people. My goodness, this means that if the retired people are working, अगर retired people काम कर रहे हो, तो फिर क्या बात है, वो वर्कशॉप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड बनेगा कि नहीं बनेगा? और हमारे पास तो ऐसा होता है कि कोई रिटायरमेंट को आ गया, तो मेरे अभी 1 साल छुट्टी बाकी है, तो वो छुट्टी लेके घर को बैठ गया. अरे लास्ट ईयर तुम एंजॉय करो, कॉलेज में, यूनिवर्सिटी में, कोई भी ऑफिस में तुम जाकर वहां पर आखिरी साल को एंजॉय करो, कुछ आउटपुट दो, और ये यादें जिंदगी भर आपकी मरे तक रहेगी. तो नहीं, वो छुट्टी लेके घर पे बैठ गया था. ये डिफरेंस है हमारे और उनके कल्चर में, वर्क कल्चर में. एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू चेंज, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स. इफ वी ऑल, इंक्लूडिंग माई सेल्फ, अगर हम सब इस वर्क कल्चर को चेंज करने में कामयाब हुए, तो हम स्किल शॉर्टेज और स्किल गैप, ये दोनों को हम जो है तो एक जगह ला सकेंगे. टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ माय डेलिब्रेशन, I would like to critically appreciate the National Education Policy of 2020. My perception is that we can bring some amendments in the present education policy of 2020 that can be brought especially for educational institutions providing facilities for students. Because these educational institutions, if they are not taken care, they will do whatever they like. And for that purpose, educational institution license should be renewed every 3 years after inspection by the appropriate authority at that appropriate level. This should be done. That is what I think. My perception is that. Now, special online platform should be established. Now, NEP is expecting blended mode of teaching. हो सकता है 60% in class and 40% online, maybe 70% in class offline and 30% online. ये भी blend हो सकता है, अभी formalize नहीं हुआ, लेकिन for that purpose, special online platform to be established for students to complain regarding the institutions. There should be a platform. And when there is a platform for complaining regarding the institutions and teachers, then that will have a self-check, because students sometimes they don't have ideas, but then they feel they can disseminate. You can also appoint a special ombudsman. Ombudsman, it should be appointed for every district to solve the disputes arising which is related to or regarding the education system and the institutions. Whatever grievances are there, that can be, you can say, solved by that particular person who will be specially appointed in this implementation of NEP. So the critical points as regards NEP 2020, mother tongue up to class 5, that point I deliberately left. It is good. The aim is that there should be conceptual clarity for the students at the small age only. That is why up to class 5 they say that there should be a education in mother tongue up to class 5. Of course, this can be amended. If we find the results are good, it can be brought back to class 4 also, class 3 also, and bilingual and trilingual or multilingualism can be implemented from there. So internal changes can be made. So it will not be very difficult as far as implementation of NEP, because rigidity is not there, flexibility is there. इसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. अगर 5वीं क्लास तक बोला है तो 4वीं तक भी ला सकते, उसको 3री तक भी ला सकते. That can be done internally, because this will make the children more adaptable to learn new languages in the small tender age. It is a logical thing. As you grow old, it becomes very difficult to absorb, to grasp. जैसे अगर आपने मुझे कहा कि सर आप ये स्किल जो है तो एक्वायर कीजिए, ये आप लर्न कीजिए, या आप ट्रेनिंग लीजिए, तो मुझे वो लर्न करने में काफी मेहनत लगेगी, टाइम लगेगा और एफर्ट लगेगा. लेकिन वो बच्चे को, छोटे बच्चे को अगर छोटी सी उम्र में अगर आपने मोटिवेट किया और उसको उस राह पे लगा दिया, तो वो जल्दी से ग्रास्प कर लेगा. ही विल बी मोर प्रोफिशिएंट एंड मोर एडेप्टेबल. So emphasizing on online teaching, it is good, but it has a very big disadvantage. Students do not have access to the technology and the gadgets. For that, some very important, you can say, policy making changes need to be done. ऐसा नहीं वो सिर्फ आइडिया के ऐड में अच्छा लगता है कि जो है रिमोट एरिया में भी जो तो ई लर्निंग चल रहा है, वो ऐड में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, मोबाइल के ऐड में. लेकिन कनेक्टिविटी रियल टाइम, वी फाइंड many times when the resource persons are talking, they are not able to deliver more clearly. I don't say that I am more clear, but then most of the time resource persons are vulnerable. जब वो अपना dissemination करते हैं, तो they are not able to speak clearly, their connection is vulnerable. And you can, to the tune of 10%, 20%, you are not able to hear the crucial points in that deliberation. Now, this is a bottleneck which has to be overcome by the authorities, implementing authorities, and all the stakeholders. An optimum solution can be taken out, because there is a inbuilt problem as far as the connectivity is concerned. So that should be taken care. One more thing which I perceive, that this can lead to privatization of higher education. ये एक मुझे बहुत बड़ा डर लग रहा है कि this can lead to the privatization of higher education. And the teachers, the think tank of India should take out a solution to see that the masses are educated. And if the masses are educated in higher education, then the education for all, the aim of new education policy will be served. But then there is a concern that this may lead to privatization of higher education, which can again be limited to the very few people in the society. So that can lead to a disequilibrium in the society. So equality, fraternity will not be practiced. So that should be taken care. We all should try to give suggestion and solution to the government when we think how this can be overcome, how this can be tackled. In that way, we should give them some solution. So change in the affiliation system is also my concern, because you are giving autonomy to the colleges for 15 years, and that can again lead to privatization. Of course, there are apprehensions. Uh, there is a positive and negative aspect. Both the things are there. Positive in the sense that the impact will be, teachers will become more proactive, students will also be more concerned, more religious, more sincere, more honest, and the parents also will be very much involved in the teaching learning of their students and will be continuously in touch with the teachers also. So that can have an impact, but then there is a inbuilt fear of the teachers which should be removed, because I also heard some of the questions which were posed to the earlier resource person regarding the safety and security. So that is again a big question mark. But over a period of time, I just tell you, I told you about, there is a planning going on for 10 years appointment with full-fledged, you can say, facilities to the teachers. And then subject to the renewal of another 10 years. And then after that, the third renewal subject to the age permitting and the number of years service left, that will be dependent on that. So my forecast is, with the current education system, the students' expectation is prime importance, and new education policy of 2020 will bring a new revolution in the education policy, and there will be a scope for increasing the rate of literacy in India. And this NEP 2020 will help the students from dropping out of the education between 3 and 18 and again coming back. So this can be a very good situation where students can come back to the fold if they have any practical difficulty. But then again, it requires a lot of maturity for students, parents, teachers, and the institutions, that if they drop out, then they come back. How this will be accommodated, what will be the mindset? Again, this lot of soul searching needs to be done, because pursuing a flexible system of education without restriction, you need to have emphasis more on students in the long-term development. This is what has been envisioned in the NEP 2020. The main goal is to make Indian students equipped with universal language, and students can launch themselves in the global platform. And this is a very good opportunity in the form of new education policy of 2020. Friends, at the onset, I thank Advocate B.D. Hamberde Mahavidyalaya, Ashti, District Bid, Maharashtra, India, especially Principal Nimbore sir, energetic principal and a principal of A grade college, who has worked hard with all his teachers and the institution to acquire this grade. Congratulations. Dr. Mutkule, who was very much in touch with me right from
Azaruddin
the
sir, thank
planning
you.
of the
Azaruddin sir, thank you.
ICSSR
पूर्ण होऊ द्या की
FDP,
बोलणं त्यांचं थांबा ना.
and the team for giving me a chance to speak on this important topic of national education policy of 2020. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
सर मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछने का है मुझे.
बोलिए.
I want to ask the one question to Professor Azaruddin sir. Sir, for accepting the new things, so technology or any type of new things, so our mindset is important for accepting it, and that is the
Yes.
positive. Our mindset should be there. So
Yeah.
my question is there for facing the NEP 2020. So what we
Yeah.
will do on the individual level as a teacher, and how it will be helpful to fulfill the expectation or intention of policymaker and the government, and how we will be supposed to get the fruitful results from this new policy.
Okay. Very good question. Very good question. See, basic thing is, whenever you go for a reform, you can say whenever you go for a change, change is not instant. एकदम change नहीं होता है कोई चीज. Change is always gradual. From the management perspective, principles of management, it is gradual. And for that gradual change, you see, these structural changes have been suggested. Now, for the teachers of the undergraduate college and the university teachers, those who are connected to this FDP, we can adopt. See, like for my university and my faculty, we have adopted CBCS system 4 years back. But our arts faculty and our science faculty is still in the old system only. They have not adopted the CBCS system. And now the government of Maharashtra is pressing them to adopt the CBCS choice-based grading system, to adopt them, to change the syllabus, to go for a continuous evaluation of the students. So this becomes very difficult for implementation. So what should be done? It should be done in the phased manner. Like for example, curriculum. It should be same curriculum. You can convert it into CBCS pattern 80-20. Now when you convert the CBCS, the same syllabus into 80-20, you will ask questions, sir, what about the parameters? That is the core subject, skill development and elective. Now these three things which are to be inculcated in the syllabus and in every topic or in the every subject, these three things have to be managed. So what you can do, UGC has given every university and every autonomous institution that every year you can change the curriculum up to 20% of that particular subject. So in that 20% you can reorganize, reset or revise the syllabus curriculum as per the requirement of CBCS, which has been done by our faculty in our university, that is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, the first university to change as far as the Faculty of Commerce and Management is concerned. So I'm just giving you an example. The North Indian universities and some of the autonomous institutions, they have done it. I can give you an example of one of the biggest college in Pune, SP College, Sri Parshuram College, where more than 7,000 students are there for commerce faculty. They have done it as an autonomous body. They have brought changes in that, in their curriculum, keeping the core, the elective and the skill component in mind, and change the syllabus accordingly. And teachers are also being trained from time to time in as regards this. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Is there anybody to say something? Any questions?
Question, sir.
Yeah, please.
First of all, sir, you are phenomenal. Your lecture energizes us, and I am afraid about how to reach the path of innovation and skill in new education policy or national education policy 2020, or what are the changes required in ourselves to uh, suffer from this new education policy? What are the changes required, or what are the fault? You are not clearly told us, because we are all professors, but what are the fault that we are bringing now, and what are the changes required for the next new education policy in our field?
Yeah, see, you are talking about innovation. Why you stick to the word innovation? You stick to the word change. कुछ तो भी हम अलग देंगे. अब ट्रेडिशनल चीज से अलग कैसे देंगे आप? अब मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल, एक केस स्टडी बताता हूं. You must have heard in my biodata, which our honorable friend was reading, and he has read very clearly that I have done one Indo-Italian Chamber of Commerce and Government of Maharashtra project on tourism and automobiles. In that, we discovered that the Maharashtra tourism places, destinations are not developed as it should cater to the, you can say, the people, those who are coming and seeing it. And in comparison, how the Europeans are promoting their destinations, we had a comparative study. हमारा डेस्टिनेशन डेवलपमेंट और हमारा जो है तो क्या बोलते हैं प्रमोशन, ये दोनों चीज में हम लैक कर रहे थे. तो हमने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र को एक सजेशन दिया कि आप इसके ऊपर जो तो डेस्टिनेशन डेवलपमेंट के लिए आपको कनेक्टिविटी करना पड़ेगी, डेस्टिनेशन डेवलपमेंट करना पड़ेगा, और इसके लिए टूरिस्ट को बढ़ाना है. तो एक आपको नया काम बहुत एकदम हमने क्या बोलते ट्रेडिशन से हटके एक सजेशन दिया कि आप स्कूल के स्टूडेंट्स में एक ऐसा वो डालो कि इन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट बनाना. अब प्रोजेक्ट कैसे बनाना कि जैसे मुंबई में गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया है, उसके ऊपर अगर प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है तो स्टूडेंट्स ने वो एक कोई तो भी एरिया को जाकर देखना और फिर उसके बाद आकर उन्होंने उसका प्रोजेक्ट बनाना और उसके बारे में प्रेजेंटेशन करना. तो इससे क्या होगा, अब एक बच्चा मुंबई जा सकता क्या? नहीं जा सकता. उसके साथ कौन जाएगा? फादर जाएगा. तो फादर अगर अकेला गया तो क्या होगा, वो पर्पस सॉल्व नहीं होगा. तो फिर फादर के साथ कौन जाएगा? मदर भी जाएगी. तो फादर, मदर और स्टूडेंट. अब एक बच्चे को लेके जा रहे तो दूसरा बच्चा घर में रहेगा, ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता. तो वो क्या करेंगे, दूसरे बच्चे को भी लेके जाएंगे. 4 लोग जब मुंबई जाएंगे तो मुंबई की इकोनॉमी को आप कितना हेल्प कर रहे देख लो. पहले ट्रैवलिंग में आप इकोनॉमिकली हेल्प कर रहे, उसके बाद आप जो है तो वहां पर होटल्स को जो है तो बिजनेस दे रहे, उसके बाद जहां रेस्टोरेंट में इधर उधर खाना खाएंगे वहां आप बिजनेस दे रहे, टैक्सी वाले को बिजनेस दे रहे, जो परचेसिंग की उसको बिजनेस दे रहे, और आपका जो वो वर्क है क्या बोलते हैं सीइंग द गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया एंड प्रिपेयरिंग अ प्रोजेक्ट, वो भी आप काम कर रहे. तो ये एक इनिशिएटिव से ऐसा हो जाएगा, बच्चे जब बड़े होंगे तो ऑटोमेटिक उनके अंदर एक क्यूरियोसिटी रहेगी. अब मैं जैसे हमारे जो मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस किया, उन्होंने आखिरी का जो लाइन कहा कि सर हैज विजिटेड 26 कंट्रीज इन द वर्ल्ड. तो ये 26 कंट्रीज मैं कब गया पता है आपको? मैं पहले इंडिया के कोने कोने को छान मारा, कश्मीर टू कन्याकुमारी और गुजरात टू बंगाल. मैं खुद, मुझे घूमने का बहुत शौक है, और स्पोर्ट्समैन होने की वजह से फुटबॉल मैचेस में तो बहुत सारे प्लेसेस मैंने हमारे स्कूल और कॉलेज लाइफ में देख लिए थे, मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी टीम में. लेकिन उसके बाद मैंने इंडिया को देखा, और इंडिया देखने के बाद मेरे अंदर क्यूरियोसिटी हुई कि वी शुड गो आउट ऑफ द इंडिया एंड सी द ब्यूटीफुल वर्ल्ड. तो ये एक पॉइंट है, देखो एक पॉइंट सिर्फ ये हटके है. ऐसे ही एजुकेशन में आपको क्या हटके करना है. पेपर, एक को पूछा कितने पेपर पब्लिश किया आपने, तो बोले सर 150 पेपर. माय गॉड, 150 पेपर! अरे ऐसा कैसा है, पूरे लाइफ में मेरे 150 पेपर नहीं हो सकते, और तेरे अभी तेरा जो तो जर्नी 6-7 साल का है, तूने 150 पेपर बना दे. दिस इज होपलेस, रेडिकुलस. उसको पूछा स्कोपस में कितने हैं, एमडीपीआई में कितने हैं, एमराल्ड में कितने हैं, और स्कोपस इंडेक्स कितने, कुछ नहीं. तो ये कॉन्फ्रेंस में, वो कॉन्फ्रेंस में, इसमें प्रोसीडिंग में, तो दिस चेंज कैन बी ब्रॉट. एक पेपर या 2 पेपर, गवर्नमेंट ने कितनी सुविधा दी आपको. अगर एसोसिएट होना है तो आपको सिर्फ 45 पॉइंट होना है, 4 क्वालिटी पेपर पब्लिकेशन करो, आपका काम हो जाएगा. सो चेंज कैन बी ब्रॉट इन योरसेल्फ, एंड चेंज कैन बी ब्रॉट टू व्हेन यू गिव इट टू द स्टूडेंट्स. तो कुछ हटके अगर आप दोगे तो नेचुरली स्टूडेंट्स भी जो है उसको अट्रैक्ट होंगे। एक एग्जांपल और देता हूँ, एक कॉलेज है, उसका नाम नहीं लूंगा मैं। ये जो हम्बरडे कॉलेज है, उनके कॉलेज के नजदीक ही है। और वो कॉलेज का जो है, तो उन्होंने एक या दो कॉलेजेस ने एक काम किया है कि रूरल एरिया के जो शेतकरी है, फार्मर्स है, उनकी सॉइल टेस्टिंग जो है, तो बॉटनी जोलॉजी के जो टीचर्स थे वो सब ने मिलके सॉइल टेस्टिंग का काम हाथ में लिया है। और जो जो फार्मर्स को अप्रोच किए, जिन्होंने सैंपल्स दिए, उनको ये गाइड किया है कि इसमें आप ये ऐसा कर सकते, ये खत यूज कर सकते, ये कर सकते, और आपका पीक ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको मिलेगा कि विथ द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ वाटर एट योर सोर्स। तो दिस कैन बी डन बाय द टीचर्स एंड दिस कैन बी ए कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन। अच्छा, अभी यूजीसी क्या बोल रहा है कि सोशल कॉस्ट बेनिफिट क्या है आपका, आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन सोशल सोसाइटी के लिए क्या है। तो सोसाइटी के लिए ये कंट्रीब्यूशन, आपने एक स्टूडेंट को गाइड किया कि आप है तो नौकरी के पीछे मत भागो और अपना खुद का वेंचर चालू करो, कुछ खुद की दुकान चालू करो, खुद का प्रोडक्शन चालू करो, खुद का रिटेल स्टोर चालू करो, डिमांड एस्टिमेट करो और काम करो। तो दिस कैन बी ए new way of teaching and imparting knowledge, so that can be adopted, and slowly you will learn it. So change will bring innovation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I
Thank-
hope
I hope
my
all-
time is over.
Yes, sir. And I hope all doubts are clear. There is honorable principal Nimore, sir. He was to acknowledge. He was saying thank you to you for
My pleasure.
congratulating,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
for congratulating us for securing A grade in rural area. And Vice Principal Dr. Babasaheb Utkore, he was also online. Thank you, sir. You are there already in touch of all of us. And at the very beginning, when you said teaching is the most respectable position in society, that is very true. We all are there. Otherwise, I'm not talking of salary wise or income wise. There are other professions having more income. But when it comes to respect, and the teacher's position is the greatest in the society. You had introduced many more things, but first thing I must acknowledge is your voice was very clear and exactly audible to all of us. Then your expressions, mm, body language, gestures, everything. It was so impressive that if time permits me, in 5 minutes I will read the comments in the chat box. Mahesh Radurkar says it was very informative session. Then Manita Sharma says that it was informative and interesting session. Then Rajpal Yadav says nice talk on continuous development in teaching skill. Then Lakshmi Narayan NH said very nice session. Prahlad Ketmal sir, very nice session. There are many comments. It will take much more time to read all the comments. Very informative, sir. Structure of NP stood in front of us, says Sujit Matkari. And Shashi Saurav says wonderful talk, very informative and very interesting. Such type of comments are there. Ramaj, you talked about the proactive role in promoting multilingualism, and as you said, critically appreciating a national education policy. Because skilled education is introduced at high school level, a sense of competitiveness will be there. And you also related a story of China when we were there abroad. After visiting every corner of the country, when you were abroad, and there you find a story that you told. The headphone was manufactured at home, that too by grandparents, when people are working after retirement there. And here the fact you have underlined that even for 1 year's leave, if the leave is pending, before retirement, we try to get voluntarily. You talked about the academic bank of credit. For that, as you suggested, lot of maturity at student level and lot of preparedness at institute level, that is also required. Thank you very much for so nice lecture, sir.
Thank you very much. One announcement I would like to make. I think you have FDP up to which date?
28, sir.
28, huh? One of my student has recorded it, this lecture on Facebook Live.
Okay,
So
sir.
it was there on the Facebook Live also,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
and he has already recorded it.
Yes, sir.
I think the participants were different. They were specially invited for that. So
Yes.
that recording, I would try to give it to you people,
Yes, sir. Yes.
Nimbore sir or Kule
Nikhil.
sir or yourself.
Yes,
I
sir.
will
Yes, sir.
send
Azaruddin,
it
sir,
to you.
sure.
So that you can share it to the participants who are there. Okay, thank you very much
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
at the onset.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
We do record all sessions. Thank you all. Thank you, delegates. Thank you. With this, we'll end the session today. Thank you. We are going to end the meeting.